Flippers, the Great Book of Pinnipedia. Chapter 11. To value and observe is to cherish and love. Many Pinnipedia supporters sometimes find themselves in a difficult situation where they feel inclined to document and study pinnipeds, yet do not want to disturb or disrupt them either. So what can they do? Let's explore a few ways to safely observe pinnipeds and what to do if you do not approach them, but they approach you. To begin, several documented sightings of the pinniped approach have been studied. An article done by the Cornwall Seal Group Research Trust states, "In my experience, you have little to fear from the seals. They have a similar level of intelligence to a dog. Whilst they are strong and powerful with huge teeth, these are highly unlikely to be used aggressively towards you. Playfully, yes, but even then they can be incredibly gentle." Lynn Roper. A scientist on the subject said it herself that pinnipeds are not much to fear. These animals are majestic, non-aggressive unless provoked, and mostly tend to stay away from us altogether. However, they can sometimes become curious. Plus, you are not entirely disrupting anything they are doing as long as they come to you. Imagine you would like to photograph them up close. Just swim in your mind your own business. Eventually, they could become interested and swim near you. Allowing them to come to you makes the situation much less tense and prevents them from becoming nervous around you, which is safest for everyone. Roper goes on to add, "Surprisingly, I would say that seals are pretty good at reading your intent or body language as high-level mammals. Obviously, their body language is different from ours, so confusion can arise." All of the given information confirms that Ocean Puppy is the perfect comparison to a seal. Further instruction is also advised prior to swimming in seal-inhabited areas. Seals, like all Pinnipedia, can be territorial over their home, especially during mating and pupping season. So, it is best to remain calm and quiet around them. They will choose to trust you just as a dog would its protector. What happens if I let the pinniped come to me and it decides it is a little too comfortable around me? Well, the Endangered Species Act and Marine Mammal Protection Act includes sets of guidelines and regulations that are put in place to protect both animals and yourself during an encounter, viewing in their environment or otherwise. These laws vary depending on state, species, and other local rules that are important to know based upon your area, especially if you plan on watching pinnipeds bask in the sun and glory of their aquatic habitat. To start, coastal waters are the optimal place to go to visit marine life. It is critical to recognize that these places are protected. Therefore, there will be consequences pertaining to both you and the animals there if something problematic occurs. So, what should you do if the pinniped does not leave? Below is the list of steps you should take in this situation. 1. Do not touch it. Even if the mammal gets on top of you, you are not permitted to touch it by law. 2. Do not make loud noises that would spook or provoke it. 3. Stay very still and calm for the entirety of the encounter. 4. Only if there is a life-threatening emergency, someone beside you should lure it away if it is on top of you and does not get off, in the case of an emergency. 5. Allow it to stay where it pleases for as long as it likes without disturbing it. Recall that you are in its territory, and it is leading the encounter and making the calls of the situation. 6. If you are on a boat with the animal or on land, and it feels comfortable coming up and resting with you, refrain from moving far away from the destination. If you are on the move, let it be toward land, in the case you are on a boat, since beaches are where pinnipeds come up to rest on naturally, or simply not far from where the initial encounter took place. 7. Once the animal leaves, remain there for a moment to ensure that you will not spook any other animals or it, as causing it to become provoked could startle others and create problems. Additionally, NOAA Fisheries relays this advice in a message posted within the given article, the Marine Mammal Protection Act and the Endangered Species Act do not provide for permits or other authorizations to view or interact with wild marine mammals and sea turtles except for specific listed purposes such as scientific research. NOAA Fisheries. As proven, keeping everyone informed is always important. Certain authorizations permitted to high-level officials and conservation workers do not apply to the average person. Knowing what the restrictions are is a key tool to protecting Pinnipedia. Even if you cannot directly help the animal, you still have the ability to prevent the persons involved from doing any more harm to the pinniped. NOAA Fisheries goes on to write, "We maintain a policy that interacting with wild marine life outside of permitted research should not be attempted, and viewing marine mammals and sea turtles must be conducted in a manner that does not harass the animals." Overview. The importance of information stated, knowing what it is that it is legal and illegal to do when in the same vicinity of marine or wildlife is crucial. Normally, phenomena such as seal approach and the wayward walrus do not often occur. Most times you will rarely ever see seals, especially gray ones. Although, that is not to say that it is not a possibility. There is always a chance that something caused them to become stranded on shore or for them to wander inland. When a situation such as that does happen, it is very helpful and important to know exactly how to handle the situation properly. Also, it is advised that you do not disregard nor disrespect the noble efforts of Pinnipedia supporters and organizations like this that work to save these animals. If not them, then who will? The public information is out there to be known, not taken for granted. The conclusion of the overview states, "We do not support, condone, approve, or authorize activities that involve closely approaching, interacting, or attempting to interact with whales, dolphins, porpoises, seals, sea lions, and sea turtles in the wild. This includes attempting to swim with, pet, touch, or elicit a reaction from these animals." Fisheries.noaa.gov. Consider what actions you may take to stop these harmful confrontations before they start. The main cause for conflict is confusion. If everyone heeds what has been advised, then there should be no further misunderstanding. Being knowledgeable about subjects like this can ease a situation and enlighten others on the truths and misconceptions of Pinnipedia. The more you know, the better off you will be. Finally, if you are a marine wildlife photographer, then you will likely experience an encounter such as this. By following these steps provided, you are making the best possible approach to the situation. After all, the most important thing is at the end of the day, everyone is all right, safe, and happy.